Hello and welcome to this week's Battle of the Ports, as we take a look at Roadsters by Titus. Oh no, not Titus. The Masters of Mediocre Games. Roadster was released first in the US on December 14th, closely followed by Europe on the 17th. The game features both licensed cars from manufacturers, example Mitsubishi, Alfa Romeo, Lotus and Toyota, as well as unlicensed cars from many imaginary manufacturers that are based on and bear a great resemblance to their equivalent real car models. The game also includes a multiplayer mode, supports up to 2 human players that can compete in any of the available circuits with 4 more CPU controlled cars. Play modes consist of the trophy mode, where players start by selecting one of the available races and is given a sum of money that must be used to acquire a car. There are 3 divisions in which the player can compete, on with the third being the easiest difficulty and requiring less money to participate. More money can be earned by winning races, and that in turn allows to buy new cars or upgrades for the ones that are already in possession. In quick race mode, the player can select the racer, car, circuit and weather conditions and race against 7 more CPU controlled players. However, not all classes are available unless you unlock them in the trophy mode. The first thing you'll notice when starting Roadster is how bloody awful the frame rate is in the first person view. It must be running at a sub 20 frames per second. Thankfully, switching off the rear view mirror improves things somewhat, but of course, being an N64 racer, the frame rate is always sub 30 frames per second. But hey, at least it's fog free for the most part. Graphically, the game is extremely low in resolution, but still manages to look less blurry than quite a few other races on the system. It sounds fine too, with OK car engine effects, music and random speech. Nothing to get excited over, but at least it's not offensive. As for controls, well, you can play via the D-pad or analog stick. Both options provide a fairly competent control system. The game goes for an arcade feel, but does suffer from being a bit loose when sliding, and the CPU can cheat by slamming into you. But on the flip side, you can also do the same to the CPU controlled cars. Overall, Roadsters on the N64 is a very average racer. Nothing too offensive, but nothing that grabs your attention. The first port of Roadsters came to the PlayStation on March 20th, 2000. This version was developed by Smart Dog, whoever they are. Actually, I know who they are. They are the developers responsible for very mediocre games. Just like Titus. But what's funny is that they ended up being bought out by Titus. Anyway, is Roadsters on the PlayStation another miss in their library? It sure is. Now, to be fair, it runs much faster and at a higher frame rate than the N64 original, but it also controls like crap. The controls are way too sensitive. It doesn't matter which car you choose or which driver, they all control exactly the same, which means badly. Roadsters on the PlayStation is so bad that it makes the N64 original seem like a AAA game. Another relatively unknown developer, Player One, brought Roadsters to the Dreamcast, but is it any better than the PlayStation port? Is it bollocks? It's just as bad. Yeah, it kinda looks better, but that's about it. The driving is all wrong. For the start, at the beginning of a race, you can't rev your engine. It just sits there idle. Then as soon as the race starts, you fly off the line. Then there's the control. Oh man, either you have Twitch City, like the PlayStation, or unresponsive dump truck controls. No matter what you choose, this game will feel terrible. Also, why does my car slow down when the CPU crashes into the back of it? That doesn't make sense. Another point is that Player One have remade the tracks and added new tracks. The thing is, they all suck and can be quite confusing. Why did they do this? Let's not even bother with this one. Roadsters even ended up on the Gameboy Colour courtesies of Genetic Fantasia. The game follows the trophy mode of the original, hence why it's called Roadster Trophy. So unfortunately you can't choose the random tracks freely like in all the other games, but at least you can select from a few options each time during the trophy mode. It plays like your typical Game Boy racer, to be honest. Nothing too interesting here, but at least you can pass some time while learning how to gamble. And let's take a look at all those versions of Roadsters running side by side.